They use the pain. Don't waste it. When you have pain, use it. I don't think I've ever had it where someone didn't start changing what they were doing. And it's okay. Like, it's fine. I know they're going to do it. But sometimes they do it so drastically, I have to go all right, this isn't, you got to do this over. I have to, and the reason they do that is just by simply by tracking some of their behaviors, they become aware of what they're doing. And since your brain is designed to fix errors, when you become aware of that, your brain goes, okay, you probably shouldn't eat 5 donuts this morning. Maybe just have 1. It starts signaling changes on a logical level as well as an emotional level. Right. It starts earmarking those neurological pathways to change when you go to sleep that night, because you're realizing, wait a second, there's a flaw here. You know what I mean?
Moff just donated $100. Thanks, Moff. I was totally joking. Moff with the $100 super chat. You should send it to the direct donation link, because I only get $70 of this because we got to pay NaziTube.
Yeah, NaziTube. Moff's the best, dude.
Thanks, Moff. He says, got to jump, fellas. Paul, talk to you soon. MLD, thanks for the kicking ass this Friday. Cheers. Call me back Friday, Moff. Call me back Friday. Well, I'll give you another weekly ass kicking for this.
And so just tracking can make you aware. It puts in your reticular activating system, that frontal lobe of your brain, what's going on. And then your brain starts going, wait a second, maybe we need to fix some things. So sometimes simply here's a technique you guys can do if it's something that, if it doesn't work, of course. I mean, I say doesn't work. I mean, if it's not getting the results as rapidly as you'd like, you book a session. But think of, if someone has anxiety, let's say over a breakup, what happens is their tendency is to have ruminating thoughts, to spin and overanalyze, because this is a danger, it's a trauma, and your brain is now rewarding itself for the rumination. All right.
So terrible.
Right.
So terrible. Awful feeling.
It's very awful. So what I recommend someone does is they simply start tracking how often they're having these thoughts. And when they come up, just note it and then go, all right, I'm going to deal with that later. And then go back to what you're doing. You take those distress feelings. And it was what an old tactical firearms trainer told me. Actually, it was, in special operations community, he always would say, use the pain. Don't waste it. When you have pain, use it. So those distress feelings, then you put it towards whatever you're doing, whether it's your workout that you're in the middle of when you had the thought, or your business or whatever. You start putting it towards bettering yourself. But just recognize what the thought is, note it, and then go back to work. Now, if you still are distressed and messed up, you can go, okay, I'm going to give myself 2 minutes, or I'll give myself 5 minutes. Allow yourself to ruminate and think about that for that time. And then you say, all right, the time's up. Put a time constraint on it. I'll deal with this later. And you go back to work. If you tell your brain, stop thinking about it, don't have emotions, your brain says, no, you have to. This is dangerous. And then your brain pushes back on those signals. He actually will fight you and make those distress signals happen harder. But if you basically consciously say, we'll deal with this later, then your brain goes, okay, we recognize the danger, we'll deal with it later. And it allows you to then compartmentalize. Okay. Now, the dealing with it later is simply going for a walk on a break. Go for a walk for 30 minutes or an hour and keep your vision parallel, like don't look at the ground, but look up. Okay. And allow yourself to think about and ruminate distress over these thoughts. EMDR was actually discovered through walking because it's the peripheral stimulation. All right. So you could go for a walk or a jog or a bike ride, keep your eyes level and allow yourself to just think about those distressing thoughts and allow yourself to think, things you took notes on, allow yourself to go through it. And your distress level might happen, maybe some tears, maybe not. And then they sort of come down. You sort of just feel better, but you put a time constraint on it so you don't allow the ruminating to self-perpetuate and the anxiety to self-perpetuate. And so then you allow yourself to do that. And then you go back to whatever you're doing and then continue that process. And the big important thing is you max your sleep out. All right. You max your workouts. That'll help your sleep. And then you max your sleep, because when you sleep, you'll process these things further and move them into those acceptance areas. So these are ways of handling this And it's this homework I give guys in between sessions and work that we'll do, and ways of handling this distress. So that's some actionable advice for you guys listening to this. If you're handling a problem, anything that causes distress, this is a way to do it. Track it, put it, give yourself a compartmentalization. We'll deal with it later. Put a time constraint, and then handle it through some physical, like some walking that or bright bike riding, whatever that'll stimulate the peripherals of your vision, which opens up your hemispheres.
It's so important, guys. Guys, I got to tell you, like, if you're a man that has mental noise, and then you're always like feel like your brain is spinning, and you always have like mental noise